In today's video, I'll break down the three big aspects of college and tell you what you should consider before going to college. Now, these three aspects will include cost, education, and opportunity. So let's jump into cost. Now, cost has a ton of different things associated with it, and the two biggest things are money and time. When going to college, there's a ton of different things just to consider with the money aspect. That's whether you're going to a college that is public or private. Are you going to one that is in-state or out of state, maybe even out of the country? Are you going to be living on campus or off? And even aside from those, how are you going to be paying for college? Do you have scholarships or maybe grants that will help pay for it? Do you have family members that will help you? Do you have to take out loans that with interest that build up over time? What sort of situation are you in for going to college? So for my experience, I've had the opportunity to go to Fresno State, which is a public university in California. And typically my costs have not been that bad for going to a college in California. On average, I would have to spend around $7,000 to $7,500 on tuition every academic year. Now, taking that into consideration, about $3,500 to maybe $3,750 a semester is not too bad for school. And that included my tuition, books, parking passes, and a ton of other things that the university adds on later. So for my sake, I felt that I got a really good deal as far as money going to college. Now, there's a completely different expense with college that a lot of us also have to consider, and that is time. Time is one of those things that is really precious because of the fact that we can't ever get it back. Money, on the other hand, we can pay off, we can make more, but time is something we lose forever. And really, you have to ask yourself, are you willing to commit at least a few years of your life to going to school and getting an education? So again, in my instance, I felt that the time I've spent at state was good. I don't like the idea of having to spend 4 or 5 years in school to get an education. Yes, I could have accelerated the process by taking more classes, and again, you're balancing that with your mental health and a ton of other things, such as maybe a job, family. So it becomes a difficult thing to manage. And really, you just have to bite the bullet sometimes and know that you're gonna go to school. In my instance, I was okay with it, but for some of you, that might not be the case because you need something to happen now and your life doesn't allow you to have that flexibility. So just ask yourself, can you afford it? Can you spend that extra time at school, getting a higher education? And ultimately, does the cost of going outweigh your passion or what you want to do in life? I completely get it. Some jobs you cannot get without a college degree. So take that into consideration. If it's something that you know you can do without one, start to consider it. Maybe if it's the best choice for you to still go to college, but do what's best for you and your interests. Now, number 2 was the educational aspect. Educational is a little more straightforward. What do I learn within the classroom? So a little background, I actually started going to Fresno State as a computer science major. And after about a semester and a half, I decided to move on to getting a marketing degree because marketing aligned with my passion and my career choice. And yes, these are two totally different worlds. Computer science and marketing don't overlap very often in life. But as far as my experience, I felt I got a really good education or grasp of knowledge from each of these majors. Now, at Fresno State is actually one of the top rated business schools in the nation because of their accreditation. I believe it's AASB something. I don't know the exact verbiage, but you can look it up. They are a top rated business school and it really shows with the courses that they give. So I'm really happy with the education I've gotten at Fresno State. I thought for the most part, all of the courses that I've taken have been useful for me. The only downside, and this sort of goes back to the whole time commitment, I don't like the general ed courses because I feel that they take up way too much time from what I'm learning in all of my major courses. A lot of these courses are mandatory, and I do understand that at the end of the day, colleges are a business and this is a way to keep us in college paying longer. But I don't like the idea of just having to take these random general ed courses. Instead, maybe we could have taken more major courses or courses that align with our career paths. Because really that's what we're going to college for. It's not to learn history that we've learned in high school. It's not to do that. It's to learn what we want to grow our lives around in our career. Now again, I'm not going to complain. I do think college has its perks, but the fact that we can't take more courses around our major sort of leaves some gray area with how I feel about this. I do feel like the education was great. I really wish that we wouldn't get random courses that we need to take during our time in college. So really the questions that I want you to think about for yourself: do you know exactly what you're getting yourself into when you're taking college courses? Are you okay with taking some courses that might not be what you want? Just ask yourself these at the end of the day, and maybe you can see a value in the educational aspect. Now, the third and final section is the opportunities. Now, this is the stuff that goes outside of the classroom. What is your college giving you that you can't get anywhere else? What sort of competitive advantage are they giving you so that you can set yourself apart in the real world? The way I see it, the activities, the clubs, organizations, social events, all of these that your colleges put on for you and students help set you apart and give you opportunities to grow your network. So in my experience, I actually got my first job because of college. It was indirect, but the idea is that I got an internship because I was a college student. I'm now entering my final year in college as a president of one of the clubs because I've enjoyed my time in that club. The club has given me opportunities to connect with tons of other people on LinkedIn. I've had the chance to meet new people, and I've also gained knowledge from the workshops, meeting actual professionals in my field and asking them questions that I wouldn't have the opportunity to do without college. So throughout my college experience so far, I've built up a lot of experience, and this is actually something that I wouldn't have done in my earlier years. And in fact, I didn't do, partially because of COVID. I was on lockdown. We were all on lockdown. Couldn't do much. Those meetings online were not cutting it for me. But getting back on campus and meeting people, interacting with others has been just a game changer for me. And I feel like the opportunities I've gotten at Fresno State have been incredible. And I can be biased because I've enjoyed the price I've paid. I've enjoyed the education I've gotten so far. I sort of have a halo effect for Fresno State right now. But in the end, I feel like it's given me everything I've needed and a little more to build my own and give me the opportunities I need to be successful at the next level. So at the college that you're at, or if you're planning on going to a certain college, what sort of opportunities do they provide you? Can you find them anywhere else? If it is in an actual college or maybe somewhere outside of college, what are these opportunities and how can they help you in your career and helping you move to your next step in your career? So really the biggest thing I want you to take away from this video is just to consider these three aspects and decide whether college is truly worth it for you or not. Decide whether the cost, the monetary cost, as well as time that you're going to be investing into college is worth it for you and what you're trying to do in life. Is the education that you're planning on getting really worth it, or is it something you can find elsewhere? And are there opportunities that your college that you're planning on going to gives you, but do they generate some sort of competitive advantage for you and what you're trying to do in life? Just think about those different things and whether or not you really need to go to college. Remember, this is your life. It's a big step, and you can take just a little bit of time and decide whether this is the right decision for you in life. From my experience, I'd recommend it, but there's always other people to listen to. So I want to hear what you guys think in the comments on whether or not you feel college is worth it or not.